Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to go over some trades that were done this morning. There was only two of them. We have AI, like right here. We have AI, those top traded gainers, and also it had the biggest gainers, AI. But if we read the headline, AI stock C3 AI is rising on earnings beat. So that was some pretty good news. And we had another trade, ORIC. Where ORIC right here. ORIC had a good one. Pharmaceutical announces 125 million private placement financing. Okay. So that was the catalyst. There was only two of them. Now there was more trades I'm going to go over, but I only got into two of them. As you can see here, the market is kind of grinding down. But if we look at AI, AI was pretty decent. It was running up, so I was waiting for a pullback. It was consolidating in this area, and then we had a micro pullback. So right in here on the break of this candle, it went up, and then it came back down, and then it stopped me out for a break even. I put the stop loss down here at like about 50 cents. But what I normally do is when the stock starts moving up, I was going to see if it could break this. So I went on ahead, and once it moved up to 20 cents, because I thought it would keep running, once it started moving up here, I moved it to break even, got stopped out. So no money to be had. Then again, and I have a habit of doing this, is we ran up, we had another micro pullback. And if we look on the 30-second chart, see this, the first one we had, you can see we had some high volume there. So it kind of ran up and then I got stopped out. But the second one right here, we were making another higher low right here. So get in on the break of that candle, put the stop down there. That was about 40-cent stop, and then moved up to here and got about 40 cents because it moved up, and I saw the volume coming in, and that's okay. So I just went on ahead and took it. I didn't think it would break it, and then it broke it, but then again, we pulled back again. So that was a small trade on AI. That had a news catalyst. So as long as you can get yourself like over 20 cents, you're doing good. I mean, this is a $20, $30 stock, so it wasn't that much money to be made. Now, ORIC, this one was good. It ran up and then it started pulling back, and there was no candle that set up, so I couldn't get in. So then it came down here to the VWAP, and it closed below the VWAP, and then it sold off with a huge red candle. But then on the 30-second chart, if we come here, we had this candle right here, and then we started trading up. So what I was thinking, because this candle here, this one right here is an inside candle. It's called an inside candle. And I really do like these because you can get in here and have a stop loss here. So that was a 20-cent stop loss. So when it moves up to about right here, I didn't move it to a break even because it was already a 20-cent stop. And then I thought for sure I was going to get stopped out on this wick down, but it just didn't move up. And then all of a sudden it held the VWAP and then started trading up. And then I just took my profits up in around 40 cents. And of course, I didn't get the whole move up here. I just got a portion of the move right here. And I thought for sure I was going to get wicked out on here. But it was a 20-cent stop, so it was a really tight stop. The other one was like a 40 or 50-cent stop, so I just kind of moved it up to break even. And I just trade it as how I'm feeling. If it's moving and the price action is really good, then I'll move it up to a break even. And sometimes you'll move it up to a break even, and then you'll get stopped out, and then the candle is set up again. There's no problem going for break evens, and then a few minutes later jump right back into the trade and make some money. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's about capital preservation and protecting the capital to trade with. So ORC, AI and ORC was pretty good trades. And if you look over here on the top traded gainers, we have ALZN. And the scanner right here, it's like 10:35 a.m. I'm already done for the day. ALZN really didn't have very much. We have ZEO. ZEO, that was below the VWAP. As you can see here, pre-market, just traded below, so I really wouldn't do anything with that. WETO, there was really no news for that, so there's really nothing to be made there. But AI, of course, AI had, it was riding the VWAP. Right here, it just rode the VWAP, which is really nice. But if we look down here to the biggest gainers, we have ALZN, which we already kind of looked at. And what I might do is filter out these biggest gainers. I might filter out these low floats because the float on ALZN is like 0.7 million. So I might just go ahead and filter that out on these biggest gainers so it doesn't show up. So the low floats don't show up here. And we have SBET. That was another news catalyst. We have all these news catalysts right here. So we had quite a bit of news coming out. So let's take a look at the ZEO. That was another low float. I need to filter those out. But let's look at SBET. SBET was could have been a really decent trade. It was trading up, and then I know it was trading above the VWAP. There we go. It had a pullback, and look at that. We have an inside day. Well, not inside day. We have an inside candle right here. So what you could have done, we had a pullback to the VWAP, and as you can see here, the volume is kind of going down. And then we had an inside candle. What you could have done is gotten in on either the break of that or the break of this one, put your stop at the inside candle or the stop of this one. That would have been like a $1.50 stop. And then, of course, it came up here and then it actually broke the high. And then we started trading up in here. And then you could just trade it sideways, take some off, and then we had another micro pullback, and we ran up. We had another micro pullback here, but then if you look at that, we had the green candle, the volume coming in, and what you could have done is gotten in here, but you stopped down here to $1.30, got up here to about $2.75, $2.80, $3. Yeah, it went up to like $3. That would have been really good trade. I missed that one. I wasn't paying attention because I was doing something else. I kind of walked away from my desk, and I kind of missed these trades. I don't know if this showed up on the scanner right here, because 950, I don't think it showed up, but I think it showed up, SBET showed up on the scanner right here. So on that micro pullback, it would have been good. Also, this pullback here, and then we made this, that was a pretty decent trade that you could have done as well. Let's take a look at the other ones. SBET, ORC, we looked at. AI, biggest gainers. ELF, I just wouldn't trade. This one, yeah, we had a pullback here. We had pullback here. Could have gotten in a little bit there, but this is a $118 stock. I just really wouldn't trade that. VVPR is an $8 stock. There's really nothing there. Yeah, so you had to pull back here, but the volume was kind of light on that. So I don't know. VEEV, there's really nothing there. Yeah, so it's pulling back with volume. Just stay away from that. And then we have FMST. FMST, yeah, there's really nothing there. TNGX, as you can see here, Past 5 minutes, 32,000 volume. It's kind of light volume. We have VUZI. I don't know when that showed up on the scanner. It probably could have been up in here, and then we had a pullback here. You would have gotten in there. You could have inside candle. You could have gotten in here, but to stop there, you would have made a little bit of money. Not very much, maybe 5-10 cents. So, but again, that's past 5 minutes, 28,000. It just shifted. So 59,000 volume in the past 5 minutes, and the volume is selling volume, taking profit, selling because volume's picking up. BOSH, that BOSH, that was nothing because that was trading below the VWAP. So really the only good trades were AI. That was decent one. ORIC, that one was okay because it kind of really pulled back here. We had inside, and you had a tight stop. And if you jump down to the 30-second, you'll notice that the volume started picking up on the 30-second. And you could have gotten in, and that red candle here was very light selling. So you could have gotten in on the break of that and then rode that up for a little bit of profit. So that was OR, and then SBET was a really good one. That showed up here. That was news. When a stock doesn't have any news, I normally just don't take a look at it. But the reason I have them on the scanner is because sometimes there's a lot of news and sometimes there's hardly any news. So when there's really not any news, or if there is news and nothing's setting up, then I'll jump into, okay, what WETO, what's trading there? Not much. It's trading below the VWAP. So there's really not much there. I mean, it sold off here and then it started breaking the highs. I mean, we had a lower high. You could have gotten in on that break there because we had volume picking up on this candle here. And like, I don't know, 76 cents. Yeah, probably got yourself a quarter. 25 cents out of that. Yeah, so, and then we had higher lows here. We had a pullback, higher low. We had a break of that, but the volume was kind of drying out. So it's kind of hard to say. Let's take a look at LZMH. Yeah, that's not really much either. 26,000 volume. I might put in the filter to at least have more than, I think the filter is set to 10,000 volume. I might set it to like 50,000 volume to filter out some of these that just don't have the volume in there to really get in and out real quick. 36,000 volume, HKD. That looks familiar. Yeah, you had a little bit of volume, not much. So I think I'm going to work on that filter and add it in to filter out some of these stocks that are below 50,000 in volume because they're not really moving. I want like a stock that is below between $2 and $25 for the biggest gainers, between $2 and $25 with decent volume and the catalyst with news. That's what I'm mainly looking for. So that's all I have. I just wanted to go over what the scanner showed up for today. And I'm thinking next week I can start streaming live. I'm at least going to start streaming live at 9:30 or maybe 5 minutes before the bell opens so we can see what's going on. I'm still working on the press releases and the PR movers for pre-market. So when there is a press release and volume coming into the stock, it's going to show up on the PR movers. So you can, in pre-market, you can see what stocks are moving with high volume and has a news catalyst. And I'm working on that scanner as we speak. So that's all I have. I will talk to you later. Bye.